Branches of ballistic. Internal ballistics. This is the study of what happened inside the gun from the moment you pull the trigger until the bullet leaves the barrel. Primer ignition. When you pull the trigger, the firing pin hits the primer at the back of the bullet. The primer is like a small spark plug. It creates a tiny explosion that sends fire into the main part of the bullet. Burning of gunpowder. The fire from the primer lights the gunpowder inside the bullet. The gunpowder doesn't explode all at once. It burns quickly and makes hot gases. These gases takes up more space and start to build pressure inside the gun. Gas pressure pushes the bullet. As the hot gases build up, they push hard against the back of the bullet. Once there's enough pressure, the bullet breaks free and starts moving forward through the barrel of the gun. Case expansion. While the bullet is starting to move, the metal case that holds the bullet also expands. It presses against the inside wall of the gun's chamber. This helps seal everything tightly, so no gas leaks out the wrong way. Time frame. From the moment you pull the trigger to the bullet leaving the barrel happens super fast. It takes only a tiny fraction of a second, but it's a very important part of how a gun works. External ballistics. This is the study of what happens to the bullet after it leaves the barrel of the firearm. It includes the bullet's flight through the air until it hits the target or the ground. Muzzle blast. This is the loud sound and flash that comes out of the barrel right after the bullet exits. It happens because hot gases behind the bullet escapes into the air rapidly. Muzzle energy. This is the amount of energy the bullet has right as it leaves the barrel. It depends on the bullet's mass and velocity. Trajectory. The curved path the bullet follows in the air due to gravity. It's not a straight line. Bullets always start dropping after they leave the barrel. Range. The distance the bullet travels from the muzzle to where it lands or it hits the target. Velocity. The speed of the bullet in flight. It's highest when it leaves the barrel and it gets slower over time due to air resistance and gravity. Pull of gravity. Gravity pulls the bullet downward as soon as it exits the barrel. This causes the bullet to follow a curved path instead of a straight one. Air resistance. Air pushes against the bullet as it moves forward, slowing it down. Heavier or more aerodynamic bullets lose speed more slowly. Penetration. How deep the bullet goes when it hits a target depends on the bullet's energy, shape, material, and target type. Terminal ballistics is the study of what happens when a bullet hits a target. It focuses on how the bullet behaves upon the impact and how much damage or penetration it causes. Terminal accuracy refers to how close the bullet hits to the intended spot on the target. It is affected by the factors like bullet stability, shooter precision, and flight conditions. Terminal energy is the amount of energy the bullet carries at the moment of impact. Higher terminal energy usually means greater force and deeper penetrations. Gunpowder content in a bullet influences how much energy is produced. More gunpowder typically results in a faster bullets with more impact power. Length of the barrel affects the bullet's speed. A longer barrel gives the bullet more time to accelerate, increasing terminal velocity and energy. Air resistance. Slow the bullet down as it travels, which reduces its speed and energy before hitting the target. Terminal velocity. It is the bullet's speed just before it strikes the target. The faster the bullet at impact, the more powerful and penetrating it can be. Terminal penetration describes how deep a bullet enters the target. This depends on the bullet's speed, weight, energy, and the type of target it hits.
Good day. So, I'll be talking about the different types of firearms. What is firearm? So, firearms are the powerful tools designed to fire bullets or shells using pressure from gunpowder or gas. They are used in the military, law enforcement, sports shooting, and hunting. It's important to understand how they're classified based on their design, function, and purpose. Let's start with the first category of fire guns, which is the handgun. So, handgun are small firearms designed to be held and operated with one hand. They are easy to carry and quick to draw, which make them very common among civilians, police, and security officers. So, there are two main types of handguns, which is the revolver and the pistol. So, first is the revolver. This type of handgun has rotating cylinder that holds multiple bullets. Each time you pull the trigger, the cylinder rotates and aligns a new bullet with the barrel. So next one is the pistol. So pistol are usually semi-automatic. That means when you pull the trigger, it fires one bullet and then automatically loads the next one from a magazine. Pistols are faster to reload and can carry more rounds. A common example is the Glock 17. So the second category is the rifles. So rifles are the long guns that are designed for precision and long distance shooting. You use both hands to hold it and you press the stock against your shoulder and absorb the recoil. There are several types of rifles based on how they load and fire bullets. Number 1 is the bolt-action rifle. This is a manually operated rifle where you pull a bolt back and forth to eject the used cartridge and load a new one. It's very accurate and commonly used in hunting and sniping. The second one is the lever-action rifle. You operate a lever under the trigger to load the next bullet. These are classic rifles often seen in cowboy or western movies. Third one is the pump-action rifle. Just like pump shotguns, these use a sliding grip to load a round. These are less common than pump shotguns but is still effective. The fourth one is the semi-automatic rifles. This type fires one round per trigger pull and automatically loads the next round. It's popular among civilians for sports shooting and self-defense. A common example of this is the AR-15. The last one is the automatic rifle. This rifle keeps firing bullets as long as the trigger is held down. It's usually restricted to military use due to its firepower and ability to shoot rapidly. Next, we have shotguns. So shotguns are long guns designed to shoot shells instead of bullets. These shells contain multiple small pellets or a single slug. Shotguns are very effective at short range and are often used in hunting, home defense, and by the police. Shotguns comes in several types. Number 1 is the pump-action shotgun. This uses a sliding pump handle to eject the used shell and load a new one. It's very popular and reliable. Number 2 is the break-action shotgun. This type opens at the middle so you can manually insert one or two shells. These are simple and often used in hunting and target shooting. Number 3 is the semi-automatic shotgun. This shotgun reloads itself after every shoot. Using the gas or recoil from the fired shell, it allows faster follow-up shots. The number 4 is the automatic shotgun. Fire shells continuously as long as the trigger is pressed. These are rare and most used by special forces or military. Now let's move on to submachine guns. Submachine guns are compact, fully automatic firearms that fire pistol caliber bullets. They are lightweight and easy to carry, which make them useful in close combat situations. Some of famous examples include the Uzi and the MP5. These guns can fire very rapidly but are mainly used by law enforcement and military personnel. Next is machine guns. Machine guns are fully automatic weapons designed for continuous fire. They can shoot hundreds of rounds without stopping, as long as the trigger is held and there's ammunition. These are very powerful and are mounted or carried by soldiers in zone combat. Then we have assault rifles. Assault rifles are advanced weapons that are commonly used by military forces. They can switch between semi-automatic and fully automatic modes depending on needs. They fire intermediate cartridge, which means more power than a handgun but less than a sniper rifle. Example includes the M16, AK-47, and M4 carbine. These guns are versatile power and ideal for both close and long-range combat. Lastly, we have carbines. Carbines are like shorter version of rifles. They are lightweight, easier to carry, and good for close quarter combat. Even though they are shorter, they still fire rifle ammunition and can be very accurate.
Gunpowder residue. The presence of powder residue on the surface of the target depends upon the range of fire and type of the firearms. In the case of handguns, the maximum powder range could be about 100 to 200 cm. In suicide cases, powder residue are often found on the hands, arms, clothing, and other objects near to the target. Paraffin test or dermal nitrate test. It's the oldest test in the existence and was designed to check for residue on the hands. The hands were coated with paraffin or wax and then the paraffin was tested with diphenylamine. If the wax turns blue, nitrate is present. Nitrate is the most common unburned part of the gunpowder residue. Grease test. Peter Grease 1858 designed the test to assist with the measurement of distances and angles. The examiner presses a photographic paper onto the surface near the target, then spray the paper with sodium rediesonate. If the paper appears pink to violet in color, nitrate is present. Harrison-Gilroy test. It is the test that does not check for nitrate at all, but for antimony, barium, and lead using the same paper color change indicator. Orange color indicates antimony. If the color changes to red by adding sodium rediesonate, lead or barium is present. By adding HCl, and if red turns to blue, lead is present, but if red color is retained, barium is present. Marshall and Tiwari tests are used to determine the firearm's distance. Both tests are for nitrates. A filter paper was soaked in acetone and pressed on the target. If a deep yellow spot appears, nitrates were present. Walker test. A chemical test for the presence of nitrates in unburned or partially burned propellants. This test gives the probe valuable information about the range at which the weapon was fired.
Forensic ballistics is a part of forensic science that studies guns, bullets, and other shooting evidence. It helps in solving crimes by matching bullets and guns to suspects or crime scenes. Wound ballistics is the study of what happens when a bullet hits the human body. It helps forensic experts, doctors, and investigators understand how gun injuries happen and what damage they cause.